there and welcome. This is Tammy with Country Girls Tumblers. Today we are going to be working on a pumpkin cup, and this is what it's going to look like. It was a fairly quick project. Didn't have to wait that long on any of this. So the first thing we need to do is we need to prep our cup by sanding it, wiping it down with alcohol, and we are going to paint just a basic orange on it. Let that dry, and then we're going to go in with our Mod Podge. We want to put a fairly thick coat of Mod Podge on this cup, because using a thicker coat will actually take a little longer for it to dry. So we're going to be doing like a little ombre on this cup. So you want to get a pretty good, decent, thick coat of the Mod Podge. You see I'm just going all the way around the cup here. We'll make sure you get the bottom of it. And the two glitters that we're using today, I don't know where they came from. One of the girls that works at another store location, the company that I work for, give me a bunch of glitter. This first one is going to be gin and juice, and if I would have to guess, this probably came from Mr. Nola's glitter, but I don't know for sure on that. Make sure you get your bottom. And we're actually going to move this piece of paper out of the way because we're going to go back and forth with it being a little bit of an ombre. And this other color that we're using is called Sparkle Neon Orange. And we're going to tilt our cup at about a 45-degree angle. And that way you want to start pouring from the top. And that way it'll kind of mingle down into that first color. You can see me banging it off a little bit. Now I am going over the full cup with this, just to fill in some of that voided spot, but we got a pretty good coat on that first color, so it doesn't really affect it that much. These are the colors, and I have such a hard time with having enough space, so I'll put all my glitter in these static-free bags. Now that we've finished that, we're going to come in and mix our epoxy up. I use Amazing Quick Coat from Walmart. Mix that up and put it on the tumbler. Let that cure. Next, you want to go in where you're going to be using some foil. So this is my Aleene's Tack It Over and Over. This one was a little old, so I finally got some out and just using a sponge. I didn't want the foil all over this cup, so we're just going to go in and put random little spots of the Aleene's on it. And here you see me trying to figure out where I want to put this glue. Aleene's, if you've never worked with it before, it dries, but it never fully dries to the point where it's not tacky, so this is going to remain tacky. and it works perfect for foil. So now that we're getting the glue on the locations in which, you know, that I wanted this, we're gonna let it dry. It'll take about, with me putting it on fairly thick like this, it'll take about 15 to 20 minutes to dry. And once it does dry, it'll dry clear. It won't look milky like it does when it's first going on. You can see I'm really having to dab with this little sponge because it's starting to dry on the sponge, but with it being as thick as it is in some of these locations, it's not drying that fast. Now while that's drying, we are going to go ahead and put out the rest of our design that we're going to be putting on here. So this is a holographic vinyl, and the phrase that I wanted to put on this cup was pumpkin spice and everything nice. So we're using our Cricut Air to cut this out. And all I did was I went in to Cricut Design Space and I typed up what I wanted and found the font that I thought looked the best for this design. And used the font, typed up pumpkin spice and everything nice, and then we did an offset so that whenever we put it on the cup it really stood out. And then we cut our pumpkin face. Now during this time, that give our Aleen's Tack it time to dry. Once this is cut out, it was really easy to weed. And here we are. We've got our foil. This is like a pink leopard foil that we're using. And we're just going to go over the area that we put the Aleen's on it. Now, keep in mind that I used a sponge, so it's not going to be a solid design. I wanted that distressed look with this foil. So we didn't put it on, you know, as a solid. We put it on with string. Working with foil is a little different. You have to use your glue, and then with the foil you put it on the glue area and you really need to rub really good to get that foil to transfer off of this carrier sheet onto your glue. And say you go to pull it up like what I did right here, and you didn't have all the foil in the area that you know you had glue. So what you can do is you can actually go back over that with the foil and re-tack it. Some people use a squeegee. Some people use a hand, or their hand, or anything that's semi-firm that you can actually put pressure on this foil so that it adheres good to the glue. And we're just going to go all over this cup with this. Once we get this on, you'll see that we're going to go into putting our face and our little phrase on our cup. Now, what I did not get recorded because I work outside on my porch, and I've got 2 rooms in my house that I work, and my little dog loves sitting with me, and in order to spend some time with my husband, and we watch TV, so this is while I'm inside spending some time with them. So what you didn't see was on the black base that we're going to put on this cup here in a few minutes is I actually went outside and I sprayed it with a light coat of glow-in-the-dark paint and allowed that time to dry. I actually oversprayed in one area, but it kind of gives it some character, I guess would be the good word. Now you can see here I'm just going around making sure I've got all those little glue areas that we had on the cup, make sure all those are covered.
So that I can operate my vessel safely. Depending on how many pots you have on board and what your stability port reads, your crab tanks either have to be completely full or...
Kind of almost looks like you got a face on it already, the way those 2 spots came out on the one side. Right there, it looks like 2 eyes. So what we're going to do now is, I think we're going to put on our face.
We had a slack tank not too long ago in the Northwestern, and strangely enough, I mean, you can feel it.
And you see me putting this on by hand because after I cut everything out, I was trying to put it on my transfer sheet so that I could put everything on at one time, but I don't know what's going on with my bottles and stuff, but
some in a minute.
I have a hard time getting it to stick to my transfer sheet, and I've even got the Cricut transfer sheet. So sometimes it'll pull up, it won't pull up the design, sometimes it will, sometimes I can't get it off of the carrier sheet. I just have a really hard time with some of this stuff, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong, or what I am doing wrong, what I'm not doing wrong. So to make it easy on me, I'm just hand placing these.
According to NTSB investigators, around the time of the destination sinking, 2.7 tons of ice would have accumulated every 15 minutes.
Now here you'll see,
154 extra tons of weight.
you can see this area where I oversprayed on the mouth area. So what I'm doing is I'm picking off that extra glow-in-the-dark paint that dried around the mouth area.
ship. Crew members are out there with baseball bats and hammers breaking ice because you're concerned about the stability of the ship. And you're concerned that your ship may succumb to
That's
that
the
ice
tricky
load.
part about spraying some things is if you overspray, it gets in areas that you don't want it. So here we are making sure that we get our mouth on right. And you might see in the little background just a little small area that's moving around. That's my little dog. She likes to sit right beside me while I'm working on my stuff.
It just happens like that.
Half the time she tries to curl up in my lap.
So cold, so quick, all your joints move a lot slower, and muscles move a lot slower. That's cold.
She can't get comfortable. Here we are, replacing our nose.
After 40 minutes, they move up the frigid sea.
Excuse me, I've been doing a lot of sanding on a table that my dad and I started to put together. Whenever I put some resin on, some fiberglass resin to really make the cedar wood pop out, it didn't go so well, so I had to sand the whole table background. And we're making sure that we've got all that extra paint around the mouth off. And that's what it looking like so far.
I don't think freezing spray is in the factory.
The investigation narrows.
She's allowed to carry 200 pounds and 700 pounds. It's a lot of weight. And now during the heat, we want the very sea heavy electric.
On this back side is where we're going to put our little phrase. And for some reason I didn't record it. But there we have our little phrase on the background. On the back side it says pumpkin spice and everything nice. And so we put down the black offset and then we put our words on the top of that. I didn't exactly want spice to be perfect on there, so I kind of staggered the letters a little. And this is Walmart Amazing Quick Coat Epoxy. And I absolutely love this epoxy. I have never had a problem with it. Unlike some epoxy that I just recently tried and had to sand 8 cups down and start almost completely over, but this stuff works great. So if you have any suggestions on epoxy into which I can get gallon, 2-3 gallons that actually work on tumblers or that I can use on anything, please drop me a comment below and let me know, because this is $40 for 16 ounces of part A and 16 ounces of part B. So once we get that on, you want to hit it with a torch to pop any bubbles. And then you want to rotate. You want to switch up the direction. That way you'll get a even flow of this epoxy. And because we put a thick coat on, it was almost a flood coat, but we went back and we did another coat and we were done. So all in all, I knocked this out in about a day. So if y'all like this, give me a thumbs up. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. And I hope y'all enjoy this, and we'll catch you on the next trip. Y'all have a good evening. Bye.